Good afternoon. In your talking, you talk a lot about the trip from Phoenix to San Diego, and how we shouldn't worry that we're on the path there to San Diego and not get muddled up and turned around. One difference I see in the analogy is that when you're driving to San Diego, ever so often you see a road sign that says San Diego 300 miles, 200 miles, 50 miles. And so you're kind of comfortable. You're going, okay,
exactly.
I'm getting it closer.
That journey is quantifiable because you have a means of measuring it.
Mm-hmm. So my question is, as we are heading toward our things we want, are there similar road signs that we should be looking for, or that we should be aware of that we're not seeing?
Yes, they are your emotions.
Okay.
In other words, and that's exactly the point that we make with that story. That the trip from Phoenix to San Diego or anywhere like that is definable. And that's why you don't freak out, because you have reasonable knowledge that you're going to be able to achieve it. And so you're happy on your way. Where people on their way from sickness to wellness very often are moving nicely along, and then they stop and take score and realize that they are not yet where they want to be, and then they freak out and go the other way. And it is because 99.99% of every creation is complete vibrationally before the physical evidence shows itself to you. So you have to be able to sense the vibrational improvement before the physical evidence, because the physical evidence is slow to come. And the physical evidence will never come if you keep turning around and going the opposite direction. In other words, you can be well along the way and turn around, and well along the way and turn around, and well along the way and turn around. So how do you know that you've turned around? You feel crummy. How do you know you're on the way? You feel relief. In other words, you have to be able to quantify the journey. And we always tease our physical friends a little bit when we say, why is it so hard for you to accept that if it feels good, it is? That an improved feeling means right track, and that a not good feeling means wrong track. And we say it's because you've for so long used so many other criteria to determine which way you should go, like the truth of it or the rightness of it. I know I'm right. Esther sometimes says, I'd rather be right than feel good. And we say, okay. In other words, sooner or later in your determination, there are a lot of things you're absolutely right about. In other words, you've collected the data, you're right, you are absolutely right. But your attention to this subject and the gathering of all that facts has got you all balled up and pointed in the opposite direction, and you're not letting yourself go in the direction of where all of the things are that you have been wanting. Helpful?
Yes. So basically, as long as you're always looking for road signs, just look for how you're feeling. And
how you feel road signs. Yeah. How you feel road signs. But here's another piece to this. And the reason that you're not jumping up and down with enthusiasm over this brilliant, decisive, corrective answer that we've given you that will take you to everything you've ever wanted. The reason that you're not really excited about that is because you don't really believe us. What it really is, it's because most people have become accustomed to feeling the way they feel. And so familiar feels normal. And that's why we want you to get more sensitive about the way you feel. We want you to be pickier about the way you feel. But there's another point to this that we really think is worth exaggerating and enhancing, and that is, logical humans say, the better my emotion is, the more powerfully positive I feel, then the closer I am to manifestation. And we say, that's right. When you start really feeling enthusiasm for something, it's on your doorstep. When you feel strong emotion, positive or negative, something's on your doorstep. And if the strong emotion is negative, what's on your doorstep, when it comes to the door, you're not going to like it. So the power of your emotion really is the indicator of the closeness of the manifestation of something. So when you understand that it's enough to just turn, that you don't have to get all the way over here. And we think that this information that we're giving about just turning in the stream and saying to yourself, I feel better, not I feel great, not I feel healed, not I've made it all the way now, but just simply, I do feel better. I do feel better. And so all you have to do is acknowledge that this thought feels better than this thought, and this thought feels better than this thought, and this thought feels better than this thought. And the more you play with the thoughts, think and feel, think and feel, think and feel, the easier it will be to direct yourself. In other words, you want to talk about something that you've been thinking about?
No, because I feel like I think I'm pretty good at the feeling part. I was not very good probably 3 or 4 years ago because I just felt I didn't realize there were so many feelings I was having that was going under my radar. And now I'm feeling better I'm more perceptive about my feelings. But I was thinking there are times when I am feeling frustrated about not maybe achieving all my goals and not even having an awareness that I'm any closer to my goals. And that's where the idea of the road sign, 100 miles, 200 miles.
Well, we think today will be very meaningful to you as you really integrate this new twist on it that we're giving you here, that it really is enough to stop going that way. Because by no longer paddling so hard that way, you're going to turn and you're going to begin to go this way. And we think that impatience that you feel, we made the analogy of wanting to put a motor on your boat so that you could speed to where you're going. We think that realization that if you just stop doing that, you'll begin to move in the right direction. It's a sort of faith or knowledge that the stream will take you to all of the things that you've been asking for. And that requires a sort of trust that you are worthy, and trust that law of attraction is real, and trust that your source energy is there and is calling you. And nobody can really have that trust without having some real life experiences that make you trust it. Even today, with all Esther knows, with everything that she's learned from us, from everything that she's applied, and the wonder of the life that they are living as a result of that application, even today, as Esther says, Abraham, I would like to wake up at 6 o'clock. And she opens her eyes and looks at the clock, and it is 6 o'clock. That thrills her every time it happens. Because she is liking the evidence of what she is believing is true, you see. And so the more you test it, the more you apply it, the more you reach for it, the more you think thoughts and then watch how the universe responds to the thoughts that you're thinking, the more things play out, the more when something wonderful happens, you acknowledge, I did that. And when something not so wonderful happens, you acknowledge, I did that. The more you note the correlation between what you've been thinking and feeling and how it's playing out, then the more you come to know the laws are valid, and the more you come to know that Source has eyes on you, and the more you come to feel the call of Source. And as you begin to feel the call of Source, and you are less and less willing to beat up on yourself no matter where you are in relationship to the call of Source. In other words, if there's anything that we've been trying to get across to you all in a very strong way, is that Source is not prouder of you when you're in appreciation being called forward than when you're in revenge and being called forward, or when you're in fear and being called forward. In other words, Source is always there calling you to what you have caused Source to become. And if you could just get it, that you are never condemned, that you are always valued, that you are never seen as incomplete or unworthy, you're always seen as capable and whole. When you get that, then this turning and this moving gets easier and easier and easier. And then you stop being impatient about where you are in relationship to your destination, because you are wise enough to realize that even when you get to that destination, there's going to be another one and another one and another one. So you've just finally want to give up being unhappy about not being all the way there, because you're never going to be all the way there. Life won't let you complete it. That's why we call you eternal. And so you say, I'm eternal, on my way to more joyous experience. So what possible difference does it make in what way I'm living the joy right now? I'm always going to be on my way to something more, something more, something more, something more, something more, something more.